Okay, so now you got the land. You feel like a man?
A beat down man.
With marigolds on your bathroom
I don't have any marigolds.
windowsill?
We don't do any vegetables anymore. It's a funny thing.
We weren't good at that.
Those were the problematic belts. We did get some heavier duty ones. Just in case that's the problem, they're gonna be as spares. I had a pro mechanic come out and look at it. He thought those belts were too loose, so he tightened them up. They're a bit tighter than I had them. So hopefully that's the problem. If not, they'll break and we'll put the heavy duty ones on. Everybody hug, everybody bye-bye. Come on.
Oh, like Gideon's getting
There we
it.
go.
Thank you guys so much.
Okay, bye.
Yes, thank you.
Super fun for us. Aww.
We had fun. Thank you.
Yeah,
guys.
it was really our pleasure.
Good job, buddy.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you guys for having us and letting us park in your driveway.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're alive.
This is so fun.
I know.
for us.
We realized
No, this is no.
it can be
No
crazy
problem.
with us around.
This next stop, though, been one I've been looking forward to be honest with you, from the beginning of the tour. Following them on Instagram, Yonder Way Farm, and 5 chicks and a farmer. This dude's like the Pa Ingalls of Texas. Got a wonderful wife and 4 beautiful girls running a farm. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
And not just a farm, a very amazing farm. Lots of chickens, lots of pigs. They got cows too? We'll see. We have arrived. Yonder Way Farm. Hooked up. Ready to go see this place. Jason, is this your Wilbur?
This is one of the many Wilburs that we
Is this the
have.
mascot? Huh?
This is one of the many Wilburs that we have. You need a longer neck.
You gotta help her a little bit. Lily, did you pet that pig?
Not yet.
That's some pig. Can you say that's some pig?
There's some pig.
All the Charlotte's Web fans will appreciate that.
We want there. All right, now work.
You just gotta fill it up more, Jason.
That's right. It's in there. You just gotta stand up. She's like the escape. She's the pig that we've had that has escaped more than any pig. Yeah. Usually they're pretty well, and I think too Lainey Ray had 3 bottle babies at one time, and 2 of them were born blind, which was really kind of odd. But we just called them left turn and right turn because they just would spin in circles. I mean, the whole time, and I think she got really frustrated being in there with them because they just kept kind of bumping her and going. So she was like, I got to get out of here.
You terrific. What about Radiant? Are you Radiant? Hey Jason, tell everybody where we're at and what you're all about.
We're Yonder Way Farm in Fayetteville, Texas. Population 250. It's tiny. When we moved here, we increased the population by like 6%.
It was actually a significant percentage.
It was crazy. But yeah, we do what they call sustainable agriculture. I think that term kind of gets thrown around so much now. But our basis is just we really want to connect the local community in the big cities and in our city to the food systems that they're a part of. So that's what we try to do on a daily basis.
Cool. And I understand we're going to see some of those food systems this afternoon?
Yeah, we'll go around and
sweet.
take a look at everything and kind of how we do it. And not saying that it's right. Everybody's does things different, but
Yeah.
it's the way that works for us.
Okay, man.
Our goal, like I said, is just basically to let the animals be in their natural state and do what they do naturally. We don't use any farrowing pens or cages, so when you look over here, you'll have basically, except for that one, that was a different story. We'll talk about that. But we, each mom has her own pen, and a couple weeks before they have their babies, they make their nests, and where they have them.
Okay, then where do they go?
after they wean and stuff, then the moms go back to kind of they get a month of, what would you call that, rest. And then we breed them back.
spoils his lady pigs. He's a sucker for a good mama.
Good mamas get me. Whether it's a broody hen or a good mama pig, they get special privileges.
So the mamas rest for a month and then they're bred again.
Yeah, and they're bred again. So we get 2 litters a year. We keep moms until they have 2 consecutive litters of less than 8. A lot of these moms are actually ones that like Laney Ray bottle fed, which that's my rule with her is that any mama that any gilt that she bottle feeds, we won't process. So until it's her call. So yeah.
Okay, so then she can say.
And she's got the business side of it down now, where after she sees like Reddy over here, she was like, Dad, she's had 2 litters that were not where they're supposed to be. So if you can process her next.
Aww.
But she was here for 4 years, so I just want to create that where you can get attached to things. Like there's a line there. We don't just butcher everything. That's kind of hard as a kid to then be proud of what you do for a living.
Where do the little pigs go when they graduate this?
So then they move into different paddocks here.
Okay, so they're over here.
Yeah, so we put 25 to a paddock, and they'll be there until they're ready. Like that one's empty now because we process all those and then we let it rest for 4 months before we put something else back on it. But we do about 25 to 30 pigs a month, and so it allows us to work out that group until it's finished that month, and then we'll just keep moving.
For everyone who doesn't know, who are you and what are you all about?
I'm Lindsay Kramer, and I am Jason's wife.
Best half.
His best half. I feel like I need to stand by
No,
you.
I'm gonna keep
You by yourself.
Are you getting shy?
Oh, bye.
What do I say?
I'll stand by.
Okay.
Buddy's bye.
The beautiful ones. Are you guys from Texas?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He's proud of it too, huh?
We don't leave Texas much.
Oh.
Yeah. It's so big though. I mean, it
is very
huge.
big.
And it's got all different kind of
Terrain.
landscapes, and so I figure if it takes 15 hours to get out of here, that's about as far as you need to go.
What do you love most about living in Texas?
I think just the
People.
The people, yeah.
I love the people here.
You don't really hardly ever. Now, I think people that aren't from Texas are kind of strangerly. But if you're really from Texas,
You like the down home from Texas people.
real, like, I think Texans
Yeah.
like to talk. I mean, they like to meet people, and they're very hospitable, and
When you get out to these rural communities, it's even more.
very much so.
Yeah, the people are just extremely friendly, and you'll go to the general store and maybe be there for an hour because everybody's talking to you, looking you in the face. So I love that part of even just living in small town Texas. It's even more different than
That's
like
what drew us here. I mean, because we were in Brenham before this, and that was I don't know, 15,000 people there. It's huge.
Way too many for you.
It was giant.
He wants to make a dent in the population. Come on now.
So yeah, then we moved here. I mean, it was just funny how that. I mean, they just welcomed you in,
and it's almost like here everybody just tries to get along because it's not a matter of if you're going to see that person again. It's just a matter of when.
You're going to, yeah.
So everybody just
you're probably
makes
you're going to run into them a lot.
Yeah.
Because I think, and two, what's cool when you move out into like the smaller towns like this is there's not really like industry brought you here. Everybody, you almost have to create why you're here.
You create your own job.
There's
an entrepreneurial spirit here.
Yeah, I mean, because you got a lot of people that still commute to Houston or Austin and stuff, but it is, I mean, you definitely didn't get called to Fayetteville because a job wanted you here.
Yeah, you wanted to build your life here.
It's like, hey, we loved it here, and so we're gonna figure out how to make a living here. And that's kind of a fun thing because all of our friends and stuff all kind of have their own kind of niche little businesses that they do, and
everybody wants to be here.
Yeah.
So it just makes people more pleasant.
That's right. And if not, then leave. Just go away. If you don't like it here, then just go.
I was gonna say, these guys are ready to graduate, Jason.
No, they are. We
When's that gonna happen?
next week, but we
Okay.
just took 250 in yesterday. So
But you know, they look happy. They're up, walking around.
yeah, we kind of got.
They're not panting.
No, we. So I don't use any nets, and that's not saying that if you use nets, it's wrong.
Right.
But we had one time we had a customer that came, and I was telling them we did free range chicken, and then they said, well, I used to have them like in these nets, and they said, well, why are they in nets then if they're free range? And I just looked at her and I was like, I don't really have a good answer, you know, for that. And so,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. I mean, here they're pretty protected. We got all the mamas on this side, and then we have the net wire on this side and then the back.
Oh.
So we seldom lose.
You don't even have to shut them up at night?
Not unless it's gonna
And you
rain.
don't lose none.
Mm-mm.
Well, a lot of.
I mean,
you
if
don't
it-
lose enough to
No.
be worried about.
Now you'll know, like, if something starts to happen, like if we get sometimes you'll get an owl or something like that. It'll kind of start picking a group.
What do you mean they were accidental pregnancies?
So there's a whole story to that. We had one like young boar that we couldn't castrate because he had a hernia in his sack. I don't know what you call that for his crotch.
He's trying to come up with a nice name for the camera.
Nuts.
You can just say it, buddy. Just say it.
He had a hernia in his testicles.
I appreciate it though.
So we were gonna have. I just called a buddy of mine to let him know that I had this pig that we couldn't castrate him because his
Yeah.
guts were gonna come out. So we were gonna keep him till the 4th of July and just do a pig roast with
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
And so he was only about 4.5 months old. I mean, he wasn't big at all. And took him in, got him processed, and then we realized 2 months later that there was a bunch of. So
He's leaving a legacy.
so he had the last laugh. I mean, we enjoyed eating him, but I ended up. There's 2 here, and then there's 6
He multiplied, buddy.
back there. So he, in his little 4-day period, he created about 80 babies.
He's laughing at you right now, Pig Heaven.
The whole time we were taking him in, he was going. He had. He was smiling the whole way. It's like you just don't even know what I left. Come here.
This your favorite?
Oh yeah, one of them. Yeah, she's got pretty eyelashes.
Why is she favorite? I was gonna say, why is she your favorite? Besides the attractiveness of this pig.
she just. I don't know.
Let's see those eyelashes. You got gorgeous eyelashes.
See how they were blonde?
They go good with that cake of mud right between your eyes. What do I see? What?
See, that's how I always knew there was 2 of them that looked alike, but she's got. She's got white eyelashes. See?
Oh, there they are. There's the eyelashes. I think she likes you too, buddy. Jason, did you grow up farming?
No, had no farming background. Neither of us did.
So whose idea was this?
well,
All his.
It must be a bad day.
Should I, he's like, should I confess to this?
that was a hard.
Depends on if
couple
it's a
3
good
years.
day.
No, we just started really small though, growing our own food.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we had an aha moment, kind of health-wise, at a young age.
Okay.
That, wow,
Yeah.
we got
But-
to start looking at what we're eating.
But Jason's always, even early in our marriage, you've always been into like nurturing the land, growing things. We had an apartment when we were both full-time students and full-time working. And Jason wanted to grow his own food. And so he started a little vegetable garden on our balcony apartment.
Sweet.
All container plants. And he outgrew that and went and asked our landlord permission to have this little patch of land behind where we
Had
were.
like a retaining wall in the back, and
Yeah.
I knew they brought all that dirt in.
Yeah, he was like,
It
that's
was-
good dirt.
that's
It should
good
have
dirt.
plants in it. So he put a little garden behind our apartment and planted marigolds for pests.
Why you gotta talk about the marigolds?
I just think it's the cutest thing ever.
Come on now, you love the marigolds.
always-
Talk about my marigolds.
You're like, uh-oh, the marigold line is coming. But yeah, so he's always just been into nurturing and being outside and just growing things and land, and he's always said a man ain't a man if he ain't got no land.
That's true. That is true.
And he backs it up right now on camera.
That is true. I don't care what you think. That's true.
Okay, so now you got the land. You feel like a man?
A beat down, man.
With
No,
marigolds on
yeah,
your
man,
bathroom
I don't have any marigolds. We
windowsill?
don't do any vegetables anymore. It's a funny thing.
We weren't good at that.
No, I think
Very small scale vegetable for us.
But I mean, I think we really were not appalled, but
I'm sorry, that pig cracked me up.
Is it everything is cracked up to be?
well, I think that's a very.
Growing it for yourself to market farming?
I think it's oftentimes painted as very pastoral and like it's just idyllic and. But I would love it. My thing is like, I remember when, what was that? Food Inc. came out.
That was right when we started farming.
It was kind of like when we really started kind of getting bigger, and so we had a lot of people, that were looking for, this type of food and those type of things based on that documentary, and it really made you start looking into, really both sides of what the food system had. But it inspired a lot of people, I felt like, to sell everything they have, go buy land, and raise food. Because it made it seem like if you do it, like there's such a need for it that you're gonna have people just coming out the woodworks to buy it and get it. It made it just sound like you just have to raise it. And so yeah. And so
Yeah.
I wish, I can't tell you how many emails I get a year of people who are wanting us to buy their cattle or to buy things so that they can, they got it ready, but there's nowhere to go with it. And I think I would love to see a documentary now of how many people actually did that, sold everything, and basically had this picture painted to them, and it wasn't what they were thinking it was going to be. Because it is very hard when you're not just in the resale side of food, you're in the production, the processing, the then logistics of getting it to people, and how does all that work, and you do it in a timely manner and have enough product on the ground year round to be able to keep doing that. It'd be like somebody selling a ton of t-shirts. Like they're just great, and they sell millions of t-shirts, and then they go, you know what? We should start growing our own cotton to cut, because that'll make our t-shirts better. They were in the retail t-shirt business. That's totally different than when you get into the manufacture, like actually we're gonna grow our own crops, we're then gonna harvest it, process it, and then make our t-shirts. Like, it seems so great, but once you see the complexities of all those sides when you tie it together, there's a huge learning curve, I think, in that. And I think we're constantly, there's one reason why I don't do internships and all those things is because I still feel like I'm learning. Like, I don't want to lead somebody astray, because I felt like, and I've had people tell me, this is the way we've been doing it and it's right, and then you realize a year later that they're not doing it that way anymore. And how many people did they lead into doing it when it never was? To me, it's always an experiment for us. And so until I feel like I've got it figured out enough, then
You'll never feel that way.
no. I guess I'll have to be done, because then it won't be fun anymore.
We're natural learners, though. We're always trying to learn and improve and figure things out.
And we love the process of things,
Yeah.
and that's what I think really kind of motivates us. We started off with just regular commercial pigs because it was cheaper to get in that way. You can find them all over, and then as you start finding out what worked great with that, then you develop your own feed, and then you develop your own breeds of pigs. And to me, I love the whole process of what this is, from beginning to finish, and even to the point of handing our stuff to our customers. Like, to me, that's like the stamp of its completion. Like, we raised it, we processed it, you're now bought it and we handed it to you. You won't get that at the grocery store, and so that's kind of our. But YouTube and Google, if you think you can't learn anything, you're just choosing to be stupid at this point.
It's a classroom.
It is. You can learn whatever you want. You're just being lazy if you say you can't. You ain't got to go to the library no more. This is the baby making
Right here?
paddocks. Yeah.
Any baby making going on right now?
Not yet. No. But these are where all of our boars are. And then we put different, depending on what the breed of the boar is, we put a different breed of, we got the shag wagon.
Oh, so you got a school bus over there. Is that a little shade mobile for
If it's shaking, don't. If the buses are rocking, don't come a knocking.
Can they get in there?
No.
Okay. No.
There's
You
a
got
bad,
plans
there's
for
a
it,
bad
huh?
story to that though. But no, they're here, and then they get, like I said, about 3 months into their pregnancy, we move them then to the maternity ward, and that's where they go. So they're either here or in the maternity ward, and then all the butcher pigs are all out in these different paddocks throughout the pasture. But this is Ricky Martin and Bob.
Ricky Martin's the big hairy one right there?
He's a mangy.
Okay.
Boar.
He's your marbling.
Yes, and then you got Bob, who, funny thing is Bob will try to play with you, but he is so big.
You forgot you weren't little anymore. Is this Bob?
No, this is Bob.
Oh boy. Bob's the big boy.
So
You're huge. Is this a Mangolese?
no, this is he's got a lot of red wattle in him, but he's just got a lot of different breeds, but
He's got the waddles.
he'll
You're just a big pet?
yes, but like I say, he tries to play with you, and it gets kind of scary at times because he kind of pushes you around.
Because he weighs what, 700 pounds?
Easy, yeah. You going down?
He don't want to play with you. I think he wants to play with them. He comes your buddy.
He's got his own Instagram.
Does he really?
Bob the farm pig. Hey. Laney Ray bottle fed him.
So what do you have here, Jason?
These are our laying hens. They're production reds. A lot of people always ask us what we use. We used to use a bunch of the like Barred Rocks and Rhode Island Reds and Aracanas, and it just, for the amount of eggs that we do, we need as much production as possible. So that's why we go to the production reds.
Tell me about this system though. It looks like you have it on a carport that you've just wood framed around
Basically
it.
a carport, which you can get anywhere, and they'll actually come to your place and put them together, which is nice. I think these cost, depending on the size, for the shell is anywhere from $600 to $800, which you're not going to build something out of metal that cheap if you tried yourself. So, really and truly, it's kind of the easiest way to get an actual structure, and then we just frame it out. Like now that it's starting to get consistently cold, we'll wrap them with plastic to keep them where they're almost like a greenhouse inside. But yeah, they're on skids. We put egg boxes in there and roosts, and then we put panels in front of them just so we can close the panels at night to keep things from going in. But yeah, move them every 2 days and let them put all their chicken litter on the ground. And
We like them being able to roost on grass too. We started off with the cotton trailers and didn't really like those as much.
yeah, just unless you're in there just scraping poop every day, it'll start building up in those.
Yeah, and
so
we much prefer it to fall on the grass and
Yeah.
actually be
actually
fertilizer.
goes
Okay.
to good use. So yeah, here they just, you can see behind you, that's where it was, yesterday. So yeah, it goes there, and then about a week that'll be all grass, and that's how, it's really the only way we fertilize anything out here is with chicken litter and stuff. So it's doing what it's supposed to. Our eggs are kind of stupid good. So we really can't keep up with demand for like eggs at this point. So we're trying to. We just added 700 new.
Wow.
Supposed to get 700 new layers end of November.
Is this retailing?
Just all retail.
How much do you get for a dozen eggs?
7.
Okay. Wow.
So I always do this.
Insane orange. And that's the way they're supposed to be. And that's because they're eating all the green grass.
But yeah, it's I mean, really, we have a waiting list for restaurants that are wanting the eggs, just because it's one of those things as soon as you see it. And this isn't even as orange as a lot of them are.
Yeah.
Some of them are like almost like the color, I would say Kubota orange. That's the color that I look for. But yeah, I mean, it's just such a difference in any dish when you're having them.
Yeah.
It just pops
And
to
it's
the...
perky. It didn't
Oh man,
split
it
through your
stands
hands.
up so tall.